Hello, my dear PhD students. Welcome to the second episode of Research and Publication Ethics class. I am Professor Dr. Kamal Bhattacharya from Motherhood University. Today, I will briefly discuss about the research and ethics timeline. As I told you earlier, that ethics is a part of philosophy and which is an intangible subject. But when it comes to academics, it becomes very much tangible because the periphery of ethics depends and is validated by the data and the action of the researcher. So, when and how the modern research started and began, that I would like to give you a brief timeline. It started from in 1932 and it went on 1972. It was a research conducted on the patients in Africa who were suffering from syphilis, and the subjects, that is the patients, they were not told, they were unaware of the research is going on. Around 400 African men they were under the dissection table, okay, of syphilis. It was started in 1932 and it went on up to 1972. In 1939 to 1945, German scientists conducted research on concentration camp prisoners. You know, concentration camp was run by none other than Adolf Hitler. Okay. 1944 to 1980, the US government sponsored the research on effects on radiation on uninformed subjects, including cancer patients, pregnant women, and military personnel. Okay, so these research were hidden, moral and immoral in both sides. Okay, in 1947, there was a research. It is called Nuremberg Code for research on human subjects was introduced. Human subjects, okay. Human deal with different type of actions, reactions, repercussions, love, emotions, hatred. Okay, so it was a cognitive study and methodologically the expression of hormonal imbalance, etc. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick, okay, discovered the structure of DNA. You know DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, after secretly obtaining diffraction data from Rosalind Franklin without her permission. So, Rosalind Franklin, she was the pioneer of DNA research, and it was a stolen research which is not ethically fit or morally correct. 1964, the World Medical Association developed Declaration of Helsinki as a statement of ethical principles for medical research involving human subjects. So in that, it was a very good subject, very good ethical research, because, for example, you cannot clone human species, number one. You cannot have reproduction of inferior animals and human being. Okay, you cannot have prescribed medication on human which is not trialed on a minimum of 200 people. Okay. There was another thesis research going on, that was 1960s and 1970s, animal protection laws adopted following animal right movement. Okay, animal protection. Now India government has recently, not India government but Supreme Court of India has given a verdict that feeding the stray dog is the right to human being, and anybody objects or anybody harms the animal, okay, kills the animal, will be punished as per law. Okay. 1966, Henry Beecher exposed 22 unethical studies in an article in Engel J Medical Science. Okay, not England, J Medical Science, that included the Tuskegee syphilis study and the Willowbrook hepatitis study. The first research ethics committee appeared in the UK, REC, Research Ethics Committee. We in India we also follow certain ethics prescribed by Denmark. Okay, this one. 1979, the Belmont report was released that became a milestone in human research ethics regulation in the US. Okay, when you are dealing with human, you are dealing with certain very sensitive issues, you have to maintain strict ethics on your research. In 1989, NIH mandates, okay, responsible conduct of research education be imparted to graduate students receiving training grants. So when the government used to give grants, the graduate students must be going under a certain training, and they were not told, they were not aware that this is a part of government proposal, government activity. 2001, European Union's directive 2001, there was a directives came into existence in journals such as Nature and JAMA asked authors to define their responsibilities when publishing research. So it was a mandate given by the UNO that you are going to do some research. What is your objective? What you are going to do with that one? Okay, you have to explicitly describe in your research. In 2010, NSF introduced a responsible conduct of research, okay, RCR, responsible conduct of research, RCR, okay, training for students, investigators and trainees. The Lancet retracted of fraudulent, a paper by Andrew Wakefield linking autism to the measles vaccine. Okay, so measles, it is a infectious disease, contagious disease. Okay, the vaccine were given to the children. They developed autism. Okay, they developed autism. 1913, NIH and NSF revised conflict of interest guidelines of funded research. Funded research, when there is money is involved, there are conflicts of interest. Conflicts of interest means I have some interest and my co-authors have interest. So it becomes very much, and also my researcher my other colleagues, those who are secondarily involved with the research, they are all entangled with the monetary involvement. 2013. Okay. 2014, Nature, the world famous journal, retracted two high profile papers on pluripotent stem cells. Okay, pluripotent stem cell, stem cells. Today stem cells is very vital for the longevity or the cure of deadly diseases of the offspring. Okay. As soon as the baby comes out from the womb, from the belly of mother, the doctor used to cut the portion of the naval string, and put it in the cryogenic temperature for 20 years. Okay, for 20 years. Within these 20 years, if the baby develops some mortal disease, okay, then this stem will help him or her to revive, and for that you have to pay a hefty amount of money in India. Okay, I do not know about what is the process in other countries. 2016, okay, NIH placed a temporary ban on experiment involving human animal chimeras. So human animal mixing up, their involvement, too much love, there was an embargo on it. Okay. 2017, 17 federal agencies published the final rule that eliminated the controversial rules of requiring prior consent of all research involving human biological samples. Okay. But that was also not correct. Okay. Whenever you are doing with engineering, scientific, okay, research, you must have some prior approval from the concerned agency. Okay. So these are the timeline that was started in 1932, the Tuskegee syphilis study. Okay, from 1932 Tuskegee syphilis study to 2017. So this is the timeline of research. You should remember, question may come from this one, because you need to know the history of research. So for the time being, good day and keep well. Thank you.